Hey, today I'm going to go over one of the secrets of how to safely deadlift, and that's breathing and bracing. We're going to take you through it in just a couple minutes right here. Okay, everyone, we're going deadlifting form tip sheet again. We've already gone through the setup in other videos, the lumbar spine rounding, lean back. Last time we went over the awesome one, the tripod foot. This one is going to be on proper breathing, okay? And if you guys want this tip sheet, go ahead and download it. Just get it from me. Is all the versions that are on your social media shares, your Facebook, Instagrams, Twitters, all that stuff for free, okay? I made these so you guys can share them or embed them into your site. All I ask is you give me credit and a link on your site. That's all I want. If you want this in poster form, which some people have in their gym, in vinyls, in 2x3 feet, and all that kind of stuff, go ahead and ask me for it. You can get it with all your own branding and all that type of jazz on it. Just let me know. Go through the site. The link's in the description below. Now, in the past ones, we talked about a little bit this extension compensation pattern, which Dr. Richard Olm coined as the ECSS. I do have a whole podcast on this. Interviewing him. It's groundbreaking. I promise you will learn something from it. I'll put a link in the description below. Now, basically what we have here, not in this person, but we have people who overextend too much. They're the ones that are looking off way into the horizon here, and it looks like they have a huge arch in their back, kind of similar to this guy over here on the right. This guy, okay? But they're doing a lot of times when they're down here. It looks like they're a sway back horse when they're deadlifting, which is obviously better, which is obviously better than this person here. We don't want them to round because they're going to have a disc injury. But the people that have this extension right here, a lot of times they're going to have arthritic conditions later, which arthritis isn't always painful, but sometimes when it irritates the area, it is, okay? And again, I have a whole different thing on arthritis, so I won't go too far into it right now. But basically, the people that can't lean back without pain, if they're deadlifting like this, they're gonna have pain. Now, the way we get them out of that is to create and teach proper breathing and internal pressuring, what we call tension gradients as well. The tension of a deadlift here, if this person had on, let's just say she's working with 100 pounds, and the next lift she had, say, 200 pounds. Which one has more tension requirements in the body as well as this pillar system right here? Well, the second one does with 200 pounds. By the way, I do like saying pounds rather than kilos. It's just my thing. So what we would do is we'd solidify this pillar by creating high internal pressure within inside the abdominal area by breathing. Now, something that people don't typically understand is how breathing even correlates to internal pressure. Now, the first thing you have to understand is breathing, period. How does the body get air? Okay. It is through negative pressure, we call it. So this area right here is the abdominal cavity. Let's zoom in on this guy. It's the chest cavity. There's lungs in there, and obviously to make it simple, we didn't put any lungs or heart or anything in here. But air comes through into here because just like a plunger or just like a syringe, if you imagine going to the hospital and they are sucking, let's just say this is where the medication goes, the needle's way out here, they're sucking air in this way. Okay, sucking medication in this way, and it only because this plunger down here, this area, we're pulling it back. All right, we're pulling it back, so this area is like a vacuum. It sucks it in. That's what negative pressure is. Now, that's how we get air. That's how the vial gets medication. But also consider what happens on this end. So say we have, I don't know if any of you taken a physics class before, but pressure is inversely proportional to volume. If we have X amount of air pressure in here, but then we push it down like a piston in a car, eventually it creates combustion, all right, with a little bit of a spark. Now, what we're looking for here is to draw the plunger down, which is the diaphragm. Okay, the diaphragm is skeletal muscle, but we want to draw it down in a horizontal pattern here. We don't, or parallel to the ground, if we're standing up, I guess. In this picture, this one is oblique. Okay, it's like this. It's a really crappy plunger, all right? So you want to pull it down parallel like this. And how do you do that? Well, number one, look at right here. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit here on this guy. Right here is where we see that rib flare on people. You see it a lot when they do handstand push-ups. You see it when they're overhead pressing. You see it when they're snatching in the catch and standing up with the jerk. They just can't keep this area locked down. And because of that, we see that there's that oblique plunger, all right? We can't have that. We got to get this thing locked down. We have to create high internal pressure here, which then the air pushes out to the sides here. You see all these arrows go in different directions. And even down, it pushes and stabilizes this area, because when we think about it, the spine, in this lumbar spine area, the spine can't do all the work. It can't. It doesn't, all right? This pressure does a ton of the work. So what we do typically is we ask people to breathe properly. Now, this is a whole different subset, and I do have another video on this. It's called diaphragmatic breathing. And I will put a link in the description below of how you can teach something like this to your athletes. But if you don't teach it, I guarantee you, they'll get away with this stuff for a while. But at some point, they're going to realize, holy crap, there was a lot more. I need to learn this stuff. All right, what do you guys want to hear about next? All right, pre-pull tension is an awesome one. Since we just talked about breathing and tension, I wonder if you guys should pick next. I'm just guiding you. Bar position is setup, squatting versus deadlifting, or hips rising too fast. Those are your options, okay? If you have not listened to them already, look at the setup. Look at the rounding. The lean back we did the tripod foot. And lastly, if you do want to find this, go to the website right here, and you'll find where you can get it in a poster, in a vinyl. They're not that expensive, but I guarantee you, when your people see it, just like mine have, they're like, oh my God, that tripod foot, I can't believe I didn't know about it, right? And they'll tell each other. And this is what deadlifting and sports performance is all about, using the weight room as a way to improve the way you play your sport, all right? And with general population people as well, we don't do this to make them into weightlifters. We do this into getting them to their goals, so it's goal specific. So it's really important to make sure that we keep it safe and effective and the minimal effective dose. And to do that, we need to teach proper form. You can't miss a rep. No reps missed. I have that rule at my place, okay? So if you guys care to, you should subscribe. I'm trying to put these things out every day. It's really gonna be challenging for me. So if you have stuff you wanna hear about, please tell me, because every day that's gonna be 365. It's gonna be a lot of videos. So I should get ahead of the game here. I'll talk to you guys soon.